Hello, I'm Ava. Today I will be talking about infectious mononucleosis, which is also known as mono. Mono is spread through saliva, which means that it can spread when people kiss or even just share drinks. My Bible verse on this slide is Isaiah 41:10, where God says he will strengthen us and help us. This reminds me that God is with us when we are sick, scared, or unsure. And it also reminds me that when others are sick, we can be the hands and the feet of Christ by caring for them with kindness. So mono has many strong symptoms. People usually feel tired, sometimes for weeks or even months. They can have fever, sore throat, white patches on the tonsils, and very swollen lymph nodes in their neck. Even the spleen and the liver can get enlarged. Other signs can include headache, rash, elevated liver enzymes, and then lymphocytosis on a CBC. Children can usually have different symptoms. They usually have more gastrointestinal symptoms like stomach problems and can get very swollen tonsils that make it hard to breathe. Sometimes children are even hospitalized. From a Christian worldview, these symptoms remind us that people who are sick need patience, love, and support. Jesus often stopped what he was doing to care for the people who were hurting, so we can follow his example by being compassionate when others don't feel well. Mono is caused by a virus called the Epstein-Barr virus, EBV, or human herpes virus 4. This virus has an outer envelope, a strong capsid, and DNA inside of it. It infects the throat and then the B cells in the blood. EBV stays in the body for life and can come back again even if you don't feel symptoms. Most people in the world will get mono at some point. So that means that we have to be careful to protect each other and make sure that we don't spread it. This connects with the Christian worldview because taking care of others is part of loving our neighbor. When we choose not to share drinks or engage in risky behaviors, we are showing respect for and love for God's people. Mono usually enters the body through saliva. It first infects the cells in the throat. Then it spreads to the B cells, which are part of our immune system. Then the immune system fights back. T cells start working super hard to control the infection, and then this strong immune response is what causes most of the symptoms that we feel. The virus goes latent, which means it hides in the body. Even when you feel healthy, the virus can still be there and spread silently through saliva. Children sometimes have stronger inflammation responses, which makes symptoms worse and produce more complications. Some complications can include airway becoming obstructed from enlarged tonsils, the spleen can rupture, and hemolytic anemia can also occur. So thinking about our faith, this reminds us that even when we can't see a problem, like a hidden virus, God still calls us to be wise and careful. We should protect others, especially those who are more vulnerable. For epidemiology, mono spreads through kissing, sharing drinks, sharing utensils, even water fountains. Most people who get mono are teens and young adults. Children usually get the virus too, but don't show as strong as symptoms. Poorer areas of the world can often see earlier infections, but it is more common in developed countries because the exposure is delayed. As Christians, we should understand that God cares deeply about every single person, no matter their living environment, age, or background. So this should lead us to care for others, support public health efforts, and show kindness without judgment. There is no cure for mono. We treat the symptoms with rest, fluids, throat care, pain medicine, like acetaminophen, Tylenol, anything that lowers pain and inflammation. People should usually avoid contact sports for at least 3 to 4 weeks because the spleen can rupture with the contact. Steroids are only used when breathing is difficult or if symptoms are super severe. To prevent this, though, you cannot share drinks, toothbrushes, utensils, water bottles, and then just avoid kissing while sick and avoid contact with other people's saliva. This connects strongly to the Christian worldview. When we protect others, we follow God's command to love our neighbors. We show love by making safe choices, staying home when sick, and encouraging others to practice good hygiene. Spiritual support also helps people cope with illness. There's a lot of studies that show that religion and spirituality can help people heal emotionally and feel more hopeful in their time of sicknesses. As Christians, we can pray for others, comfort them, and show God's love as they recover. And these are just my resources. Thank you for listening to my presentation on mono. As Christians, we are called to care for others, protect them from harm, and show love through our actions. Even the small steps like not sharing cups or checking in on someone that's sick can make a big difference.